Aloha and thank you for joining us. Maui County is currently under a tropical storm warning as well as a flash flood watch. We're already getting some rain from the outer bands of Iselle, and we expect it to get much worse tonight. It is important that residents stay inside this evening. Civil Defense has recommended that no one, except for emergency personnel, be out on the road past 9 p.m. This is very important as we are expecting damaging tropical storm force winds of up to 60 miles per hour, as well as potential life-threatening flash floods and rock and mudslides. So please, before the weather arrives, get inside and stay alive. At this point, there is still some time though not much, to prepare. If you have not already done so, secure loose items such as lawn furniture, garbage cans, and other items. Have supplies on hand and be ready for power outages. Make sure your vehicles are fueled and be ready to evacuate if necessary. Stay informed and heed the advice of police, fire, and other emergency workers. If they have instructions for you, it is to keep you safe. Please listen to your local radio and TV for the latest updates. Finally, at this time, let us not forget our senior population. If you have elderly friends or relatives and they live by themselves, remember to check up on them and make sure they're okay. If you have concerns that they might be at risk during the storm, contact 911, or for more information, call Maui County Civil Defense at 270-7511 or the Mayor's Office at 270-7855. If we all take our time, take care of each other, let's get prepared, we'll get through this very comfortably. So please be safe. Lieutenant Governor, want to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to reiterate some of the comments made by the governor yesterday as well as this morning to the media as well as to many of us in private discussions, is that the state government is ready to assist our counties, starting, of course, with the Big Island, followed by Maui, as the storm moves east to west. And we're fully committed, and as the governor has signed the emergency proclamation this morning, it will allow the state to respond and to do the assessment a lot quicker once the storm passes. And so we continue to be fully supportive of the mayor's initiatives moving forward and encouraging everyone again to remain safe, to prepare for the storm, and we'll get through this together.
So, as Mayor said, we've been partially activated since Monday. We went into a full activation this morning at 0700. And as far as the evacuation, our transportation department has coordinated with our buses to have pickup points to take people to the shelters, and for persons who need assistance with paratransit transportation, they're to call, and they can do same-day reservations through MEO, the normal channels that they would usually use. And the current track of the storm, it's expected to pass a little bit south of the island, but we have strong winds on the northwest quadrant. The high surf will mainly affect the eastern shores as well as the south shores, but again, we're going to feel the wraparound effect to all of the shores. So don't think that if you live in a certain part of the island that you might be unaffected or less affected. And then even with the winds that are being announced, we have effects of downslope acceleration. So those are the expected wind speeds, but certain areas may feel stronger winds than that as well. People who live like near ridges and areas, again, that have the funneling of the winds, and they would be familiar with what those areas are. But
places like Ukuwehame, where it normally channels through, those will be blowing really heavy. When you look at Ulupalakoa areas that normally have strong winds, those places will be heavy. All of the places that normally have strong funneling effect, it'll be even heavier.
We currently are expecting surf of, I believe it was 12 to 18 or 15 feet. 18. So that on top of high tide. If people are in those areas that have experienced coastal inundation from high surf and other events, they should recognize that and be either seeking shelter at the public shelters that have been announced or with family and friends. But if you are in those coastal areas, you need to take measures to secure your property and also be prepared to leave if necessary.
Good afternoon. My name is Rowena Dagdag, Deputy Director of Public Works. In regards to road closures, one of our major objectives is to make sure that the roads are cleared. So in anticipation for any road closures, we will take the direction of any emergency personnel who need to declare that the roads have to be made closed, and will follow any directives given by staff at the EOC.
Are there any areas that you foresee as potential problem areas?
Right now, in anticipation, we don't. We have been sending out crews to make sure that all drainage ways are clear, and that any kind of fixes within the roads are being done. So we have had staff preparing for the last week or so in anticipation for the storm.
You know, Governor had mentioned yesterday that you know, all of the decisions in regards to elections obviously will be made by the Chief Elections Officer. At this point, I think it's premature to say that there will be significant impacts. The primary concern is that on the neighbor islands, I think specifically the Big Island, a large number of emergency shelters are also polling places. And so, you know, if the storm should arrive close to the election day and the place is being occupied by people who need shelter, to get the polling sites up and ready by election day is probably the primary concern. We don't anticipate any significant changes. My understanding is here the county clerk's office is still open till 4:30.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock today to 4 p.m. today, which is the normally scheduled hours. Tomorrow there wasn't going to be any walk-ins anyway. I believe it's closed tomorrow, correct?
Closed.
Yes. So today's the last day anyway. So, but those are the plans that they are currently working on in terms of preparing for the storm.
There are no plans to shut down either the water system or the wastewater system. We want to urge people that once the storm starts to conserve water, because if power goes out, we may not be able to make more water, or we may not be able to treat all the wastewater. So we want people to go into a conservation mode, because the water we have in the tanks, once electricity goes out, may have to last us for a while. So while we have no planned outages, we are asking for conservation in case we lose power.
The state legislature this past year passed an emergency measure where the mayor of the counties have the authority to override virtually everything. And if it seemed that the businesses are going to be endangered or the situation may really become dangerous, we'll ask our police department to go in and talk to them and hopefully voluntarily get them to close down. But from a pure authority standpoint, I believe we do have the authority, but we're going to be very conservative on how we use it. On Maui, we haven't seen price gouging. We've had a lot of our staff going out and looking because we heard reports of some of this may be occurring, but we haven't really seen any of it. The bottled water from the various stores seem to be about the same price. Food, about the same prices. There's no real noticeable gouging. There is a very noticeable shortage because a lot of people have been buying a lot. But as far as the pricing, it's been pretty stable.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
If you have individual questions, please fire. They're still here.
Thank you.
And be careful. Please don't be driving around tonight. Thank you.